Greetings everybody, this is Gaia Earth Goddess. I'm back with another video, and I was just coming on to start a new series that I'm creating called The Bridge. And what The Bridge is going to be about is it's actually in reference to a video I did like a few months ago, and it talked about how I have been incarnated to be the bridge to connect all races of people into harmony and peace, and to live together peacefully and with understanding and enlightenment. Particularly harmony and peace between black and white. So I have no race. I have no race that I follow or subscribe to. And I've also never experienced racism or prejudice or anything like that. So I'm coming from a clean slate. And so I think the reason why I've never experienced racism is because I was meant to be this bridge. So this would be the bridge episode 1. And every episode I tackle a particular topic or something that needs to be said to help unification of races. And to help people understand each other better, particularly between whites and blacks. But everybody, particularly them. But it's just a lot of things that I've noticed about today's society is that it's a sad case. I spend a lot of time just observing panels and observing people's conversations in real life in general. And I noticed that there's a lot of strife and a lot of hatred between blacks and whites. But in particular, the hatred and the strife is coming more from the black side than the white side. It's like most, if not all, a lot of blacks are refusing to try to get a clear understanding of whites at all. They're not trying to understand why they behave certain ways, why they do things certain ways, why their culture is different. They'll point out certain aspects about their culture and judge rather than trying to understand why they are the way that they are, or try to use it against them. There's a air of victimhood within the black community where black people really think that white people are constantly against them. When, from what I can see, white people are doing the same things everyone else, just living life, trying to pay bills and take care of their children. But for some reason, there are black people who think that just them existing, they are secretly being prejudiced or racist in some way. And it's sad because you see this so much. You see a lot of people who are in black leadership positions, and they'll talk about white people in a negative way, or they'll kind of use the fact that black people have more melanin as a sign that they are genetically superior to everyone, especially whites, or use genetics as some kind of, way of saying that they're better, that they're genetically superior, or something. It's like it's racism, but they'll be preaching it and going on about it like that black people are like the upper class of like everybody, and the lowest class is these white people, and they have dog hair, and they smell, and it's like all these things. And you see black people speaking like this, and no one is correcting them, no one is saying, hey, you sound racist. No, people are just agreeing with what they're saying, and it's a very sick and twisted mentality. And I'm noticing that a lot of the animosity and hatred is coming from the black side. And they're using the history, things that have happened hundreds of years ago, as their reasoning for having this type of hatred and prejudice towards whites, not realizing that these things have happened hundreds of years ago, and that the white people in question that did the colonization and quote unquote slavery and all that, these horrific things, those people are long gone. They are deceased. We're dealing with an entire new generation of white people who are really not don't have that mindset and living their life. But it's like black people cannot detach from the history, so they carry it on, and they carry on that mindset, and it causes hatred. And then they don't think they're racist, but they really are being racist. And it's a really sad way to see them live. It's a sad mentality to have. Like when I tell you, I am for everybody. I love everybody. I love white people. I love black people. I love everybody as long as you are a good person. I do not see race, and I teach my children to not see race. And I remember one time I got kicked out of the panel because I said that, and people didn't get why I didn't teach my children race, because why should you? It goes off of the aura of a person, the energy that they have. You know if somebody's bad or good. It's not based on their like skin. You don't have to see skin color. Skin color is just like eye color or hair color. It's just a color. It's not anything that makes one person better than the other. If we're all God incarnated, we can be anything that we want. So in this incarnation you could be black, but in the last one you could have been white. You don't know. It's just a shell that you have on yourself as a living soul on earth. So they don't see race. Like it's not a big deal. We don't even talk about racial things. But it's just one thing that I noticed within the black community is this hair thing. It's like people are obsessed with our hair. And by people, I mean black people are obsessed with our hair and our hairstyles and our hair products to the point where they get offended when anybody has anything similar to black hair styles, braids, locks. I mean, and it's people are saying, well, it's our culture, and people are stealing it. And black people, it's not that people are stealing it. Cultures transfer. Braids and locks have existed in many societies and many cultures for years. It's just hair. I mean, there was a whole panel about bonnets. Like somebody actually opened a panel to explain how white people and white women were wrong for wearing bonnets. And a bonnet is something that you wear to bed. It's something that you wear to protect your hair. It's something that you wear to lock in moisture in your hair for whatever reason. It's something that you wear to bed. It's not something that is a identification. It's not. And if I see a white or Hispanic person wearing a bonnet, I'm not going to be upset about that. There are so many other things to talk about and to be upset about that matter, but we are stuck talking about these hairstyles. And I've seen white black women get mad at white women for having braids. Just like you go and get your hair braided, Africans or whatever, they can do the same thing. If their hair is thick enough and long enough, and if they want to get braids, then why not? It's just hair. It's not anything that makes anybody more or less than. Just because our hair has more melanin in it or whatever does not mean that our hair is better. It does not mean that black people's hair is, our hairstyle, their hairstyles are more superior and things like that. It's just hair. And it's like people get caught up over the tiny things because they're so triggered because they have this hatred inside of them for white people. When the average white person, you have to think, is the average white person that you see on a daily basis, are they really being like bad and mean to you? Like, and people say, oh, I deal with racism all the time. But if you have a racist mindset, you're going to manifest whatever you're thinking about all the time. If you have racism constantly happening to you, that's not normal. That's because you have a racist mindset and you're manifesting your own experiences, or you're seeing too far deep into things and viewing it as being racist when it's not. The average white person, are they being mean to you? Like when you see a white person on the street, are they actually saying or doing anything to you, or are you interpreting them as saying or doing something mean to you, or are you just expecting them to do something mean because they're white skin? Like it's like you're seeking out racism and hatred when it's not there. And I'm telling you, I live in the South. I live in Georgia, and the white people that I meet on a daily basis are just as kind and sweet as anybody else. But it's just like there's so much hatred, y'all. And it's like I feel like a lot of white people walk around on eggshells around black people because there's so much hatred and there's so much stuff about race, and race is constantly being brought up, not by white people, by black people. And when I tell you, it's tiresome. People get tired of black people always talking about race in some form. Like in some form it's gonna come up. Like it's to the point where where people avoid having conversations with black people because some kind of way race is gonna loop its way in because people are so hyper focused on it. And it seems like black people are the only ones. It's just that people are in a sad situation. It's a very sad mindset to be in. And I just need people to see past this race thing and come together. Like, there's nothing wrong with whites and blacks unifying and coming together. the matrix, we're all in the matrix together. Nobody has an up and up. Nobody. You've just been systematically taught to think that, but nobody has an up and up. It's just a sad state of affairs that I'm seeing. This is just my observation. I'm not sure what the title of this is going to be. Probably either my observation or a sad state of affairs, because it's sad out here. And the hatred that you guys are extending towards white people, that you say that you dealt with hundreds of years ago, now you're the racist ones. And it's just, I mean, give white people a chance. Like, give people a chance. Don't just judge them right off the bat. But I'm going on, and my husband is here, so I'm gonna make a new video later, and I'll talk to you guys later. But this is episode 1. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. All right, bye bye.